What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title, in today's video I am gonna be doing my September reading wrap up. I'm super excited. I read 5 books this month, which is a lot for me when it's like the school semester, because I feel like I barely ever have time to read during the semester because I'm usually like doing school. This month worked out really well. I'm super proud of myself. The first book I read this month was Flirtation or Faceoff by Leah Brunner. Flirtation or Faceoff follows Noelle and Colby. She is like a really awkward, shy girl. She's a professor at a university in their town, and he is a hockey player in the NHL. So he is like known for being a playboy, all this stuff. Anyways, they have like mutual friend circles, which is like how they know each other. And he sees her one day, becomes absolutely like obsessed with her. She just like keeps ignoring him. Like, she does not care at all. A year later, she is trying to get one of her coworkers at work to notice her. So she asks Colby for like dating advice, and you know, it basically turns into them dating. I am giving this book 3 stars. I typically really like hockey romances. I knew that this book was advertised as a closed door romance. I knew it wasn't spicy. I knew it was fade to black, all that stuff. But to be quite frank, the fade to black never happened. It was just a little odd because for how much he was obsessed with her and how much she ended up being obsessed with him, I liked the plot, but it was not executed in the way that I would have liked it to, even though it was closed door. I have no problem with that, and I knew it going in, but it just wasn't. I didn't like it. The second book I read this month was Homerun Proposal by Maren. I really like this book. It's a baseball romance. I have been in my sports romance era, and I have never read a baseball romance before. I saw the cover on Instagram and I knew I had to read it. I read it on release day. I read it so fast, and I gave this book 4 stars. I give out a lot of 5-star reads, but I'm also kind of picky. Like, I don't know. It's just something like in my soul that tells me to give books 5 stars. So I don't know how to explain it other than that. It's just like a feeling, like the 5-star feeling, you know. So Homerun Proposal follows Hallie and Lane, and Lane is Hallie's best friend's older brother, and they all go to the same college. They all go to Orleans University, and he is like this star picture of their baseball team. He seems very like unattainable to her, but she's like had a crush on him since they were kids. Hallie is a freshman in college this year, and she wants to lose her V card. She is like so awkward around guys. She's like, there's no way this is gonna happen. Like, naturally, I feel like I just need to get it over with because I'm in college now. And she ends up like writing a proposal to her best friend, like, hey, could you do this for me? We're really close, like whatever. And instead of asking her best friend, she accidentally asks Lane, the older brother. She like ends up finding out. She's like mortified. She's like, oh my god, like he obviously is gonna reject me, but like anyways, this is really embarrassing. And Lane is like, no, I'll do it. This book is dual POV, so you see Lane be like, oh my god, I've been obsessed with her for years. She like doesn't know it, blah blah blah, and she's like, oh my god, I've been obsessed with him for years, but like he's so unattainable. He'd never look at me that way. He'd never think of me that way. I really like this book. The spice was like amazing. There was so much spice. I like loved it. Oh, okay. The third book that I read was The Score by Elle Kennedy, and this book just reminded me why I love Elle Kennedy books, why I praise this woman, why I just absolutely love her. The Score by Elle Kennedy follows Allie and Dean. Allie just gets out of like a really toxic long-term relationship. She's like, ooh, I like am DTF, but I'm a relationship girly. Like, I don't really know what to do. And her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, is like low-key stalking her, like wanting to get back together with her, and she's just not for it. Her best friend and the boyfriend are like out of town, so they're like, you can like sleep in Garrett's room, it's fine, you can stay there, and 2 of the guys will be there. She ends up going to the house, and Dean is there, and he's the only one there, and she's like, where's the other guy? Both of them end up getting drunk, and they have a one-night stand. Yeah, this book is just really amazing. It just goes really back and forth because like my man Dean is like a man-ho to the max, like major. like really major. So you really see him, like his character development and everything. You really see her character development of like struggling with her relationship and whether Dean is just like a rebound or if it's like a long-term thing. I think that's all I have to say about this one. If you haven't read it, please go read it. The fourth book that I read was Divergent by Veronica Roth. I low-key get in like these weird moods every single year where I just love dystopian movies. So I watched Divergent like a month or two ago and I was like, ugh, I love Divergent. And I was always so mad that they didn't finish the movies. They split the third book into 2 movies, but then the second part never got made. So every single time I like watch the 3 movies, I'm like, oh my god, like you have got to be kidding me right now. I get so mad. So anyways, I was like, well, I guess that means I need to read the book. I ran through this. This book is more like YA. There's not any spice in it per se, but there's a lot of like tension between her and Four. I'm sure pretty much literally everyone watching has seen the movie. And honestly, I don't know whether to say like the movie or the book is better. I really just wanted to read this so that I could picture Theo James as Four in my head because that is what needed to be done. I gave this book 4 stars. I really liked it. Really easy writing. I felt like it was just really fast paced and it really helped that I had watched the movie, so maybe that's why I liked it so much. I'm not sure. The last book that I read this month was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I finally read this book. I bought it because of all the hype going around with it. I didn't get the sprayed edges. Literally, I don't want to talk about it. I straight up don't want to talk about it. But anyways, I had been putting off this book, not because I didn't think it was good, but I was like, maybe it's not for me. Like, I've never read a book with dragons. I heard that this was like a really good intro to fantasy books. The world building wasn't super like crazy hard to like comprehend. This is like a 6-star read for me. Like, I'm contemplating getting a dragon tattoo. Like, I'm not even kidding with you. I just love this book. I made a Spotify playlist for it, which I'll link in the description because I think it's pretty amazing. This series is plotted out for 5 books and this one just got released earlier this year. She's about to release Iron Flame November 7th, and before I even read this, I pre-ordered Iron Flame because I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like it. And I want the first edition of Iron Flame because of how popular like this series has been. Fourth Wing follows 20-year-old Violet Sorrengail. Violet's mom is the general of this like war college. She was trained by her dad to be a scribe. Violet's dad and her brother die, so it's just her, her sister, and her mom. Her sister is a rider, which is like dragon rider. That's one of the quadrants. And her mother is also a rider. Her mom was like, nope, you are going to be a writer. Violet's sister is like, you need to stay away from Xaden. He's going to kill you because our mother killed his father. Like, no. But, enemies to lovers, Xaden is daddy. Xaden is shadow daddy. Xaden is amazing. Violet ends up defying all the odds against her. She is a badass. Like, I love her. I read this book in 24 hours. I have no regrets. I'm so excited for book 2 to come out. If you haven't read this, even if you don't think you'd be interested in it, like, I was really on the fence. I was just like, ooh, I'm gonna go into it for the romance. You need to read it. You need to read it. Like, don't be intimidated. Like, literally just hop into it. Just like, be like, okay, I'll read the first chapter. It's like so Reputation Taylor Swift coded. This is a 6-star read for me. I absolutely love this book. Please go read it. I'm begging you. Don't put it off any longer if you haven't. Let's talk in the comments. I want to know your thoughts about all these books. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.